Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm Tony and this is TC's Outdoors, and today we are held up in the garage. So the weather isn't too fantastic outside. We've got some rain, we've had some cold temps and had some snow, and now we're getting rain. So rain means mud. Well, kinda. It's slushy, muddy mess outside. There's not much I can do out there. So either way, I've got something to do in here, and I thought I'd kind of bring you guys along. I've done this video before, but this is kind of the upgraded version of how I do it. I've improved the process a little bit. So I make fire starters with these paper cups and this pet bedding. I sell them on my roadside stand, and I wasn't sure in the beginning how they would sell. I sell them for $10 a dozen, and it's worked out pretty well for me. I sold 350 or so between the two stands, and then I had somebody local to me, a local Airbnb. They reached out, they wanted to buy them wholesale, which was kind of exciting, and he ordered 500 the first time around. I filled that order, and about a month, maybe 2 months later, he reached out and wanted another 500. So so far I've sold 1,000 fire starters to him, and his clients are really enjoying them, and I would assume that they're going to want more. So I'm going to try to stay ahead now, because trying to make these when you need them right now isn't a lot of fun. It's a time-consuming process. I would much rather make them, have them ahead of time, because like I said, outside it's not great. So if I can take advantage of the day and I'm just kind of locked up inside, I may as well make some fire starters. I'll throw links to everything that I use in the description, except for the pet bedding. I get that at Tractor Supply. I'm sure you can get it at any of your local pet stores or whatever. It's like $6 a bale. It's just softwood, pine shavings, and they crush up really nice. They burn really well, and it's, they're cost effective. The big thing here for cost is your time. So the way I fill these is basically you just hold a cup in one hand and grab a handful of shavings with the other, and I try to pack them down in there the best I can to get them as dense as possible with the wood shavings, so that they get the the kind of the longest burn that you can out of a cup full of pine shavings. And the tests that I've done, they kind of burn surprisingly long. I mean, they're pretty effective at around 15 minutes or so. I can throw a link to that video at the end, but they burn a lot better and a lot longer than I anticipated. The soy wax does a good job. I've never tried to use them in the rain or anything like that, so I'm not sure how that would go, but I would say that they definitely have been a nice little add-on bonus to the roadside stand. It's one of those things that you do when the weather isn't great, but you can still get something done. And ordinarily I would have the TV on, so behind you guys there's a TV on the wall, and I would be watching YouTube videos. So that's kind of my process, because this is pretty tedious, to be honest with you, this portion of it. But once you kind of get it going, watching something nice on TV, it doesn't take too long. It doesn't seem like it takes too long, Before you know it, you're done, and you're pouring wax. So okay, so the first wash tub of chips is empty, so this is the time that I turn the wax on. The wax melting portion of this process is just as time consuming, well not just, but almost as time consuming as the cup filling. It's actually less time consuming now than it used to be. Let me show you why. I upgraded the process, and this was one of the upgrades that I made. This is essentially like a crock pot for wax. I'll throw a link in the description for this. It was kind of pricey, but it would take me like 15 to 20 minutes per time to melt the wax the old way I was doing it. And that was with that hot plate and the little kettle that I was pouring it out of. And it would take so long to do to 250 cups. So when I make these, I make one whole sleeve of cups, which is 250 cups. That works out perfect. This holds 14 pounds of wax when it's completely melted, and that's more than I need every time. So then I've only got to melt the wax the one time. So all I do is come over here. Just got a temperature controller, just like a crock pot. I just turn it up to, it's about 185 is the lowest setting, and that's plenty warm enough for this wax to melt. And now, in the meantime, while that's melting, I continue to fill cups. And once we get all these cups filled and the wax melted, we'll come back and I'll show you how I changed how I fill them, because that's been a game changer as well. The wax is all melted, and this is the last edition of the upgrades that I've made. So all this is a pancake batter dispenser, I guess is what it was. I think it was like 25 bucks. Again, I'll throw a link to everything that I've used except for the wood chips in the description if you guys are looking to do this. It's just got a little plunger inside there. Right now everything's still full of wax from the last time I used it, but real simple process. You just open the valve on the bottom of the tank, fill up the cup, and then there we go. Now everything's nice and loose. I don't have to worry about making a big mess on the table. So this pancake batter dispenser has definitely improved my process. It's allowed me to pour a little more controlled, and I can be a little more consistent with it. And you get a good saturation, and then everything stays together, holds together in the cup, so that when you're packaging them, everything stays together like it should. And you want them to burn well, or I want them to burn well. I don't want anybody to buy them and not get what they think they're paying for. That's kind of, I've been a disappointed consumer one too many times, and I think my business model is to not disappoint my customers. In the beginning, when I was making these, I was really concerned about using or trying to use the smallest amount of wax possible, because it's the most expensive component to making these. But in doing so, I was kind of making a substandard product, to be honest with you. So I kind of got away from that. I used to try to get 22 per pour or anything like that if I was trying to be able to measure how many I was using or how many I was making per pour of wax. And now I just pour until it looks good. My goal is to saturate the whole thing. I really want the end product to be good for the user. I don't want to make something that somebody's going to buy and feel like they got gypped. And I think as long as I do a good job as far as pouring the wax in, you get a really good product at the end, and they burn really well, they stay together really well, and hopefully the end user is satisfied with their purchase. They have a fantastic burning experience with my firewood and my fire starters. All right, time for another fill up. So that is how I make fire starters for the roadside stand. Pretty straightforward. The biggest thing right now is I need to let them cool. It's pretty tempting to give it, a half an hour and they look cool and you could pull them off, but they crumble. You really got to give them like an overnight to let them harden up, and then they're good to go. So I don't know, hopefully you guys found some value in this, enjoyed the video, and like I said, if you want to make these yourself, I'll leave a link to everything I've used in the past with the little hot plate and the little kettle and the new crock pot and all the wax and everything else that I get on Amazon. I'll leave down in the description, except for the wood chips, because obviously you just go to your local Tractor Supply or whatever you have in your area, and that's where you would get those. So either way, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and if you wouldn't mind, please hit the like and subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything, it really helps me out, and I'd really appreciate it. So either way, enjoy the rest of your day. Take it easy, guys. We'll see you.